Hey guys, Marcinkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so obviously earlier today we had the fan live stream. Shout out to anyone who came along for the watch along, and then I put up the video breaking down the things that they went over afterwards. So of course, if you're somehow coming to this video first without knowing, the part 2 Dokkan Fest exclusive LR is of course going to be Beast Gohan. Is a standalone Beast Gohan with an unit super double special beam cannon with Orange Piccolo. That was confirmed by Goresh, obviously live translating what they're actually saying on the stream. So the LRR is of Gohan and Piccolo together, but the LR is just Beast Gohan, right? So we do have standalone Beast Gohan coming to the game. Can't wait to see his animations and all that stuff. But until then, the live stream that should reveal all of that stuff, although the post that they made, it says video, but I'm guessing it's a stream again, like the part 1 one. Is going to be on Valentine's Day. Randomly, it's like 8 PM Japan time, which is very strange timing. I think it's like 11 o'clock in the morning for me over here or something like that. That's when we'll be finding out the full details of the cards and getting to see their animations. But until then, we are left to speculate. So I wanted to make this video talking about ideas for what we could see for the leader skill for LR Beast Gohan. And of course, the part 2 Carnival LR, which, again, if you haven't already seen, was confirmed to be Gamma 1 and 2. They have a standby into, obviously, it's going to end with Gamma 2 doing the core breaker, judging by the art. So very, very excited for those. Of course, they are a Carnival LR, so they will have a single category 200% leader skill. And Gohan will have a, current standard Dokkan Fest LR leader skill format, where he will have a couple of leader skill categories at 170%, and then a couple of categories that are getting the extra 30%. So it does obviously remain to be seen what these are going to be. Now, Broly did get the 3 categories and then 2 plus 30%. So Broly obviously having a very expansive leader skill. Hopefully they will go the same route with Gohan as well, so that we can make some very interesting and diverse team builds. So I brought up this Gohan here on the screen because he will probably be on all the same categories, I would imagine, unless they are going to add any extra ones in. Because the thing about Gohan, and someone commented on one of my, it was either the video or the tweet, saying that they think he will be on the category, but I personally don't, is we were talking about on the stream power beyond Super Saiyan, because Beast I don't think is considered a Super Saiyan form. It's obviously not like a god form like UI, which is also not considered power beyond Super Saiyan. But the thing is, this Gohan, because he transforms into Beast in the active skill, he gets all the categories that Beast should have, technically, right? Because he's on Transformation Boost, he's on Miraculous Awakening. You could argue Transformation Boost is because of Ultimate Gohan, because he does power up in the intro, but he's on Miraculous Awakening, and he's on full power. So these imply that these categories are here because of the Beast transformation. So I don't think he will be on Power Beyond Super Saiyan, so I haven't included that one in the discussion. If he is on Power Beyond Super Saiyan, then obviously that could potentially be one of his leader skills. Whether it's the 170 or the 30, obviously I don't know. But yeah, so the purpose of this video, and I did the same with part 1, we'll go over a few categories that I think could be included in his leader skill. I'm not going to try and guess at like which ones would be the 170s and which one would be the plus 30, because knowing my luck, I'd come up with some wacky combination that only has like 10 units getting the 200% leader skill. But we'll see what things are more or less likely. Now, obviously the big one straight away to think about is superheroes. So superheroes, Broly introduced super bosses into the game, and they often like to do these anniversary characters as sort of like parallels to each other. So superheroes definitely could be something that is on the table. However, I do think that that is going to be part of the discussion for Gamma 1 and 2's leader skill, so we'll talk about that a bit more in the later part of the video here. Into the reasons why that could be the case. But superheroes would obviously make sense for Gohan. I mean, Gohan and Piccolo are the only proper leaders of superheroes that we have in the game currently anyway, so a new leader for the 170 would be fine. I mean, both these units are still usable. Like, both of these units are going to have their stocks increase with the release of this LR and the Gammas. Like, Superhero Team gets so many buffs in this anniversary that they're, those 2 units are still going to be perfectly usable. So superheroes doesn't need a new leader, but I feel like it could end up being one of the 170s because of the parallels to Broly, right? And then I didn't want to try and pick any of the ones that Broly also has, so I tried to focus in on some of these other categories that Gohan is on. Movie heroes is something that we do have to consider as being part of his leader skill, but because Gogeta came out as the 200% lead, I honestly don't think it will be one of his main 170s. We obviously saw Broly have movie bosses as one of his plus 30%. So I could definitely see Gohan having movie heroes as one of his plus 30%, and then in that way he will then give all of the superheroes movie characters the full 200% leader skill, while still being able to have a couple of other 170s and then the extra plus 30% as well. So I could see superheroes and then movie heroes being one of his 170s and then plus 30s, as I said, as a direct parallel to Broly, because we don't need a new movie heroes leader, because we literally just got Gogeta. Obviously JP just got the Dragon Fist Goku as well, so it doesn't need to be one of his 170s, but I absolutely see movie heroes being one of his plus 30%. So next up we have Bond of Parent and Child. Now obviously this category is pretty relevant to the Gohan himself, because obviously this Gohan needs a Bond of Parent and Child ally to get his full passive active, right? So, you know, the whole point of the movie essentially is Pan being put in danger to get Gohan to go rescue her and awaken his hidden potential. So I think him being a leader for Bond of Parent and Child would be pretty good, especially considering the fact that the only proper leader we have for this category is the Vegeta and Trunks LR, who are now over a year and a half old, if you think about when they released on JP. So this category was introduced with them for the Tanabata in January, which is like mid 2022, and we have not had a new base leader for Bond of Parent and Child. So I think Bond of Parent and Child probably has a really high chance of being in the leader skill for Gohan, and then especially if as we've already said, if they give him movie heroes as one of his plus 30% to parallel the Broly, then obviously any of these other Goku characters from other movies will all be on this category, right? Because movie heroes characters, you know, we got a bunch of different Gokus, Gohans, even the like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is going to get his EZA just to pull a random unit out of thin air. But yeah, there's a lot of characters that would not be on superheroes who could be on Bond of Parent and Child, would still come under movie heroes if that is going to be one of his 30%. So I think Bond of Parent and Child, could you just imagine how crazy that team is already stacking up to be, though, with how good these categories are? If two of his 170s were superheroes and then Bond of Parent and Child, like already that team is shaping up to be pretty wild looking. So then we have Battle of Fate. Now Battle of Fate, obviously we got two new leaders for that last year with the 8th anniversary GT duo and the Blue Boys from the Worldwide Celebration. So I feel like this is one of those ones that could end up maybe as the 130, but sorry, yeah, as the extra 30 I should say, as opposed to being the 170. Now obviously there is not as much crossover. I mean, again, if he has Bond of Parent and Child and then Battle of Fate, that actually does introduce a whole extra selection. The superheroes characters that are on Battle of Fate is obviously a few of those. In fact, I think the Gammas, are they on there? Because they also fought against Cell Max? I can't remember. No, they're not. So it is just Gohan and Piccolo. So obviously, it doesn't really matter if he's having movie heroes as his extra 30% anyway. But Battle of Fate, I could see definitely being one of his plus 30%. Because again, if Bond of Parent and Child, man, imagine, oh god, I'm just thinking, imagine that leader skill. Superheroes, and then Bond of Parent and Child, and then movie heroes and Battle of Fate as the plus 30%. Like, that team would actually be insane. And then, of course, he probably has an extra 170 on top of that as well. So, Battle of Fate I could see being a plus 30. And then the other one I was thinking of is Miraculous Awakening. Because, I mean, look, we had a mission for this recently for, I think it was a recent EZA. And that's where I was reminded that, like, the only leader for this category is UI Goku, who's from the 6th anniversary. So he's 3 years old, and no unit in 3 years has had a 170 plus leader skill for Miraculous Awakening. So given the nature of like Beast Gohan transformation, all that kind of stuff, I think him having a Miraculous Awakening lead as one of his 170s would be very, very good. The category definitely needs a new leader. And obviously, you know, with us getting like the UI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta EZAs as part of this celebration, UI Goku got his EZA just before the STR one. The other Gohan's on there as well, of course. Like, that would be a very good leader skill for him, especially with characters that are coming out during the anniversary. I mean, Broly's on there as well. right? So that would be very, very good. I think that should be one of his 170s, absolutely, 100%. So we will see. Then, of course, some other runner-up contenders. We have Bond of Master and Student, or Bond of Master and Disciple. This had a recent lead on JP with the Gohan and Piccolo. It has a 200% Carnival lead with the Int Gohan, but definitely a category that makes sense for Gohan to have. It'd be kind of cool to have that combo, right? Imagine if he had Bond of Master and Disciple and Bond of Parent and Child as like his 170s. That creates a very big scope for some team building. So Bond of Master and Disciple definitely is up there. And then we have the that was the last one I picked, because we'll be getting onto the Gammas in a minute. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think of those choices for Gohan. Like I say, we can get some absolutely busted combos of these for making teams for him. Bond of Parent and Child and Miraculous Awakening, I feel like, are the two most required ones. Superheroes, again, we're going to talk about the Gammas here in a moment. So I think if I had to choose, Bond of Parent and Child and Miraculous Awakening should absolutely be two of his 170 leads. And then like Superheroes and something else, Battle of Fate potentially can be his, or even Movie Heroes and Battle of Fate could be his extra 30%. So let me know what you guys think down below for Gohan's leader skill. What do you think it would be? If it was up to you, what would you set it as? Let me know. And so now we will talk about Gamma 1 and 2. So I brought both the pages up here. They are on the exact same categories, so that's what we're going to be working from. Now, the interesting thing to mention, I'm not doing a separate video about link sets or anything, but Gamma 1 and 2 have the same link set except for one link. Gamma 1 has Cold Judgment, and Gamma 2 has the Innocence. So I'm assuming the LR Gamma 1 and 2 is just going to ditch that link because it's the one that they don't share, and then give them Legendary Power, which is kind of cool for linking up with these guys, although it's a little bit of a disappointment because this guy, I think, is going to see a bit more relevance again now because of the release of the LR. But Cold Judgment would be such a good link for him to have with them for the 25% defense, so hopefully they still have that. But out of all the other links that they have, which of these are they going to drop for the Legendary Power link, right? It's probably not going to be Hero of Justice or Signature Pose, probably not Shocking Speed, almost definitely not Red Ribbon Army, and definitely not Android Assault. So it probably will be, because since that does really make the most sense, the one link that they share gets dropped and they get Legendary Power. So a bit of a shame for linking up with this guy, but obviously still very good. So looking at the categories they're on, what could their 200% leader be? So we come back to superheroes, as I said we would. Now, we didn't think Gogeta would get movie heroes 200%, because that just seemed like way too big of a category, way too busted of a team, but they went ahead and did it. So if Gogeta hadn't gotten movie heroes, I would be sat here right now saying, nah, there's no way Gamma 1 and 2 will get superheroes. But we're in a post-Gogeta world here now, boys and girls, so them having a superheroes 200% leader skill is absolutely possible. And remember, superheroes, like, it's not just the movie superhero, is it? It's every character from Dragon Ball Super. It's not the biggest category in the world, but the team definitely would be very, very good. And of course, like, all the new characters are on it, apart from Broly, of course, being a super boss. All the new characters from the anniversary are on here, so like that team would be very, very good. So I could see superheroes being there 200%. I don't know if they will do that to mirror the Gogeta. Like we said, we'll see what Gohan's ones are and whether he mirrors Broly, but superheroes is definitely on the table. But some other ones I thought could be interesting is Worthy Rivals. So Worthy Rivals is a category that, again, has not seen a new leader for a long time. And it has the Piccolos, it has Vegetas, there's some TNs on there. It's a very wonky category. So, like, if they led this team, like, there are a few other androids and stuff on here for them to link up with. It probably wouldn't be, you know, the best 200% team by far. I mean, obviously, that would still be Gogeta for movie heroes for quite a while, I would imagine. Unless it is superheroes as their leader skill. But it would certainly be an interesting team. Like, these guys are on here, MVP 17. There's some interesting potential for a Worthy Rivals team, but it is a team that hasn't had a lead in a long time. I mean, all theory crafting kind of goes out the window, because when I made this video for part 1, I said a lot of these Carnival LR leader skills are for some of these smaller, less represented categories, but then they went ahead and gave Gogeta movie heroes, so I just really don't know. But Worthy Rivals, I think, is like a decent runner-up for a potential category. Also, Accelerated Battle. So Accelerated Battle has had the 170 lead of the Goku, And then obviously the old God Goku and Hit, but they don't have their EZA, so they're pretty outdated at this point. But this category has a lot of good LRs on it, a lot of units that are still very relevant even now. And then, you know, the category's not tiny. There's some decent options on here. So, Super Sentai Rosé's on there. This is a pretty interesting category. So, Accelerated Battle, I think, would definitely be an interesting runner-up if they're not going to have superheroes as a 200% leader. And then, of course, there's the other option they could go with, which is either to give them artificial life forms or androids, because with all the buffs that androids got at the end of 2023, this team would be very, very good, right? You think about like 21, the 13 EZA, the LR androids EZAs, MVP 17, all of that kind of stuff, right? A 200% Gamma's like androids leader would be really, really good for this team, because of course if they made them an androids leader, they wouldn't tie them down with like superhero ally requirements in their passive or anything like that. And then even if they did, right, you could still just run Gamma 1 on this team. So androids or artificial life forms, I think, is definitely an interesting choice. Artificial life forms does miss out some of the android characters. So I think if they wanted to go this route, I would prefer it to be androids, because as you look at the split here between super and extreme, if we're going to get an artificial life forms leader in the future, ideally it should probably be like a baby, metal cooler, cell, something like that, right? Whereas for the gammas being the super class and there not being a lot of super options for that team, then I think androids is definitely the way to go. Because obviously there's still not as many superclass as there are extreme, but there's a lot more top tier options of superclass units that work well as a team together, and aren't necessarily relying on big bad bosses. And then that team has a good split with having like the Android 21 that transforms and picks up big bad bosses despite being a superclass character, and then can link up with some of these other units like Android 13. Like the LR androids are an incredible unit and they don't have big bad bosses, so the team doesn't need to be as extreme focused. Whereas artificial life forms, some of the best units on this team are characters like Cell, Boo, you know, Baby, when we eventually get Dokkan Fest Baby, stuff like that. So I think androids would be my choice if they were going to go in that sort of direction for the leader skill. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I think superheroes is probably the absolute win, but as I said, with Broly getting super bosses, I could definitely see Gohan leading superheroes. So then in terms of runner-up categories, I think Accelerated Battle or Androids would be my pick for what I would like to see for their 200% leader skill. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What would the 200% leader skill be for Gamma 1 and 2? What would you have it if you could choose? Obviously, again, same for Gohan. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts on these two new LRs and what their leader skills could be down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.